Alright there geezers, Jules here from FGS, home of the Future Game Show. And while being a gamer right here and now is a bloomin' wonderful thing, what with all the advancements in tech and crazy titles that we all get to enjoy, there is one problem that I feel is only growing larger and larger. What's that? No, it's not the massive amount of layoffs that are going on in the industry at present, brought about by mismanagement. No, it's not the horror stories of workplace misconduct. No, it's not that lump on your elbow, but definitely go check that out. What I'm talking about is actually bloat. Because in all honesty, there are so many new games coming out every single month, it's almost impossible to stay on top of things. And things get even more FOMO flavored when your mates start banging on about a game that you've never even heard of, and it turns out to be utterly brilliant, and you end up just thinking to yourself, why did I spend my silly, smelly arse sinking hours into Ron Perlman's nose-blowing simulator when I should have been playing this instead? So, let's take a look at all the times we've kicked ourselves for not being on the ground floor of these amazing games. But I tell you what, as a solid from me to you, I'll be putting in some upcoming titles as well, so we can all be ahead of the curve for once. So with this in mind, I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are 8 unknown RPGs you wish you'd found sooner. Number 8, The Pale Beyond. The Pale Beyond. Not just what I call my never-ending forehead before the summer sun hits it and likely blinds everyone, but the name of a video game in which you must take a crew aboard a frost-bitten vessel and travel the icy seas in search of a missing ship, and which basically acts like a combination of the Banner Saga, Return of the Obra Dinn, and Darkest Dungeon. Yeah. And if that combination of games started to raise the sail of your half-mast, then just wait until you check out the writing and character interactions present in this game. As my god, this might be some of the best, most tense dialogue that I've ever come across. As rations dwindle and more things go wrong with your voyage, the stress and friction between your crew escalates, meaning that you'll have to step in to stop arguments, lift the spirit of those on the brink, and even stop a fair few mutinies. All of this is conveyed in such a stark, confronting manner that it's like watching your own family be torn apart, and as such is deliciously horrible and something that you rally against at every turn. But the best part is the failure that you'll experience, weirdly enough. You will cause issues that will often cost the lives of your crew, and you'll have to learn to live with them. This is emotional chaos, and you'll be kicking yourself for not playing this title sooner. Number 7, Knuckle Sandwich. You know when people like to say, it's like X on acid, and it's meant to convey that it's like the item in question is like really crazy? Well, I tell you what, Knuckle Sandwich takes this concept and then throws in a few lines of bath salts on top of it, because let me tell you, my friends, this game is unhinged. Now, while it might look like a strange Earthbound knockoff and may indeed scar your retinas thanks to the art department saying yes to the question of what colours should we use here, the quality and quantity of the content presented is unreal. As with over 100 mini-games that act as this title's combat mechanic, side content for days, and a soundtrack that has so many bangers that it should come with its own side of mashed potatoes, Knuckle Sandwich really is just that. A game that force feeds you everything. Now, I won't lie to you, friends. Yay! This has the potential to definitely make some people immediately bounce off, because it is utterly relentless. But if you're looking for something entirely different, then Knuckle Sandwich is a must-play. Number 6, Death Trash. So let's keep the weird vibes going by talking about an up-and-coming title that I feel needs some more eyes on it. Although, now that I've said that, seeing as Death Trash features monsters and characters that have been deeply Cronenberged, maybe having too many eyes actually isn't going to be a problem. Death Trash is a body horror RPG in which you play a bag of bones with one goal in mind, and that is survive this weird and very dangerous world, which itself is a mixture of Fallout's wasteland and a big old bag of meat with teeth and sometimes lasers, but by God, there be meat. Combat is kind of similar to Transistor, with all the fluid rolls and well-timed attacks that need to be order of the day, and there's a deep tactical layer to things as you need to break through different armor types or bait out attacks in order to find the fleshy protrusions in which to stab. And best of all, you don't need to do any of this alone, because the entire game can be played with local drop-in, drop-out co-op. So why not grab a mate and travel these strange and often very disturbing wastes, as Death Trash is actually pure gold that breathes life into the genre. It's out now in early access and even has a sweet demo that you can try out for yourselves. Number 5, Dread Delusion. Do you like old school RPGs? Do you miss an era of graphics that were so sharp that you could carve a week old ham on them? Does your neck hurt too much from nodding at the last 2 points because we are very old? Well, my creaky friend, you need to check out Dread Delusion, because this is a blast from the past that could well be one of your future next best games. Outside of its mad clunky visuals, Dread Delusion offers up a world made up of floating islands that exist in a sea of chaos, and travelling between them offers up wildly different vistas with unique races and enemies, and gives off such a heavy whiff of early Elder Scrolls games that your carpet will be stinking with nostalgia. Yet one of the biggest, most charming facets of Dread Delusion is in how it approaches combat and conversations, with the former offering up tons of spells and enchantments to make god-killing weapons on the fly, and the latter offering up the chance to, well, never having to fight at all. With branching dialogue paths and a true focus on being able to use wit to get out of any sticky situation, Dread Delusion does the unthinkable and makes a pacifist run not just an optional challenge, but one that you might actually want to do for fun. Tricking people into doing your dirty work or convincing them that you're not a threat alongside your classic 2000s inspired stealthing sections means that you can become a prominent force in this world without ever swinging a sword. This is a lovely throwback to the RPGs of yesteryear, but with all the modern conveniences that you could have only dreamed of as a kid. Number 4, The Stone of Madness. When it comes to standing out in the overcrowded video game market, it definitely helps to have a unique hook, and when deciding which angle to go with for the Stone of Madness, well, the developers decided to greedily swipe the table and just ran away with whatever they could carry. And I say this because the Stone of Madness is a predominantly stealth-focused espionage title set at the time of the Spanish Inquisition and features sanity meters as your poor party members are exposed to the threat of torture, and something even more horrifying, the truth of what's going on inside the weird monastery that they're trapped in. Truly, the team at the game Kiption have been licking the crazy stones, but honestly, it makes for one of the most refreshing RPG experiences going. You see, each day you need to plan your route, make use of each character's special abilities, and, of course, make it out alive. And each night you have to recover, rest, and pray to keep your inner demons from debuffing your party with negative traits. It's kind of like Eternal Darkness through the lens of the old Commando games, and it's such a brilliantly offbeat fusion that it feels unique, challenging, and so very morose at times. Definitely check that one out. Number 3, Coridden. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room right away with this next game. Its graphics are about as attractive as a pachyderm's unwashed wrinkly crack, and genuinely looks like something that even the PSP would scoff at with what's being displayed here. But you know what? Hold on, my friends, because we need to remember that what the likes of Vampire Survivors taught us: never judge a book by its ugly, ugly, ugly ass cover, because Coridden is doing something under the hood that is very special indeed. You see, the central gimmick here is that you become what you kill, meaning that once you fell enemies out in the wild world of Asher, you'll unlock the ability to transform into them, and because you can keep multiple forms on hand to quickly swap between, means that you'll become this walking menagerie of fur, fangs, and even a good old-fashioned horse for good measure. Go horse! The trick is in balancing when to use these forms, as each skin that you don has a stamina meter as well as your human character, meaning that you'll have to make shrewd decisions on, like, when to become a shrew. This means that the action is always frantic, especially when you get 3 other friends involved, because this features 4-player co-op, which harkens back to the good old days of gaming. It's a hack and slash RPG which puts fun front and center. That was a kind of animal joke, but it's more a mythology one, but it doesn't matter anyway. And while looking a few generations behind the curve is leaps and bounds ahead of it in many other respects. Get on this now with some mates and have yourself a blast. Number 2, Arco. Make no bones about it, I absolutely adore this game, as it is unquestionably my type of jam, and I really, sincerely hope that it will become your favourite toast topping as well. You see, Arco is an RPG with an outstanding visual style, harrowing story of revenge and what the pursuit of such goals does to the human soul, and features one of the best combat mechanics that I've seen in a long old while, as this is both a turn-based and real-time bullet hell rolled into one. You see, the player gets to select their attack and even the angle of their projectiles, and is then given a chance to move their character by predicting where the enemy is going to lay down fire. Then things all play out in real time, and you see whether or not you read your foe correctly, or whether you've just walked straight into their line of sight. It is deliciously evil at times, and you can become so overwhelmed that you'll need one of these moments in between the attacks to actually catch your breath. But it's also incredibly rewarding to line up shots perfectly and feel like the fastest gun in the land. And that's just one facet of Arco's brilliant production, as another amazing feature is the guilt mechanic, an unseen meter that builds up as you commit heinous acts, or even if you just can't save everyone that you meet, and spoiler alert, you won't be able to because you're going to make some seriously tough choices. But either way, once the meter builds, your guilt will manifest ghosts into battles that you'll encounter, and these spirits range from being uber powerful to literally unkillable, so think long and hard before making your decision. Arco is a slice of gaming joy that more people simply need to play. It's incredibly fun and deeply rewarding to see through to the end. And number 1, Demonschool. Right then, my friends, let's close out this video with a game that's less like double geography on a rainy Monday and more like being told that there's no classes this afternoon because the McDonald's down the road exploded and is now raining free burgers from the sky. This is Demonschool, which puts the fun back into my spine no longer functions because you've kicked my vertebrae out of my very skin. If you ever wanted to fuse Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Persona, then this is the game you need to get in on the ground floor with, because while it's set to drop later this year, it is making all the right moves to be on your wish list right now. Outside of building a party and maintaining friendships in the same vein as Atlas's powerhouse RPG series, you'll take part in battles against hellish nightmares and make use of a brilliantly inventive momentum mechanic. This sees you build power the more tiles that you move, meaning that if you charge forward and end your turn with a kick, you'll do way more damage than just swinging from right in front of you at the enemy. But foes also get pushed around the arena, depending on the momentum that you actually hit them with, so can actually be pinballed into other allies who then carry on kicking up that combo meter. Therefore, it's all about positioning and being aware of enemy movements in order to line up a devastating chain attack, making this a perfect title for those looking to add chaos to their turn-based battles. And if you add to this the charming art style and some loose and light-hearted bombs between party members, well, you've got yourself a game that's not looking to take itself too seriously, but also offers up a chunky and very funky combat system that is sure to keep you hooked in. This is Demonschool. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 unknown RPGs you wish you'd found sooner. I hope that you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. Would you like me to go through other genres and find some games to recommend for you there? Because I love doing deep dives into what is upcoming, especially when there's some amazing ideas just sitting on the table already. Plus, it gives me a chance to actually go over games that have recently released that people just didn't get a chance to play, and it might even become your new favorite game. So yeah, let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. And if you want to chat to me on the social medias in the meantime, then why not go over and follow me here at Blue Sky and Instagram, where it's at RetroJ, but the O is a 0, and you can follow my lovely editor Mark over on his social medias here as well. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Even though we spoke today about unknown RPGs that you wish you'd found about sooner, there's one thing that I do know, and that is that you are a massive ledge and you deserve the bloody best, all right? Love, happiness, and success. We all deserve these things as human beings, so let's try and build ourselves up and then take that energy and pass it on to the rest of humanity as well. Build bridges instead of burning them, because trust me, that's the only way we're gonna get through this crazy thing called life, all right? So treat yourself with love, you massive ledge. As always, I've been Jules, you have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.